Hello, everyone. My name is Simon Fiore, and I want to welcome you to Fintracker. I'm a realtor out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, and the founder of Fintracker. If you're watching this, you're watching the first part of our mini series to help you along with the Fintracker features and benefits. And we're going to start with a simple signing up and then scanning your first ID for your clients. When you go to the Fintracker website or the app stores, you're looking for the Shield Fintracker Compliance for Real Estate. You'll find this icon and download the application. Register yourself and create an account if you're not set up already. We do not pre-sign any of our clients. You must register and create an account, synchronize yourself with your board or brokerage. And if you're covered by your board, like 24 boards in Canada, offered as a member benefit, or your office or your company, the subscription will be waived. Regardless, you will receive a 60-day free trial. If you're covered by your board or your office or your company, and you're asked to pay for a subscription after 60 days with Fintracker, do not subscribe. Reach out to us and we will see what is happening and assist you with waiving your subscription. Once you have received your welcome email and you set up your password, you can sign in with your mobile device or your desktop, but mobile device is best used on the road when you're working with your clients and scanning their IDs to complete your Fintrack forms. I'm going to sign in using Face ID, which I've opted to do with my mobile device. And it allows me a streamlined sign in. I don't want to disrupt my appointment. When starting a transaction, you'll press the plus icon on the bottom right. And if you're from British Columbia, there are disclosure forms here at the bottom, privacy notice and consent as well. We're looking at bringing forms in for each province. To start a transaction for the rest of the provinces right now for Fintrack, you have 4 options at the top. New remote ID verification will help you identify your clients that are not physically present. Or maybe you forgot to ID them and you cannot have them text or email a copy of their licenses or passports to you. But when you're in person, you want to select new individual ID. The new individual ID will bring up your individual identification information record. We licensed this form from the Canadian Real Estate Association. And all you have to do is press the scan icon, continue after you read some of those instructions, and you're going to simply scan the back of the driver's license or provincial ID card or the photo page of the passport. We do Nexus cards and other status cards as well. If the ID is expired, like you saw the message, you will want to ask for a current document. Once you have a current document, you can scan it and we'll auto-populate your individual identification form without error. All the info is there. All you have to do is enter your occupation before you can save this file and move on with your listing appointment or your offer or sales agreement. Enter the occupation. At the very least, you have that, so you don't have to ask your client after you've listed or sold them their home what they do for a living. It breaks down that relationship. Treat this as a know your client process. In other industries, it's called KYC. We want to now save this. And yes, it will show that submit is in red. You cannot submit. And the reason is we're saving it here as an incomplete pending form. But if you want to complete this in real time, there's a few more steps. Designate it as a buyer or seller transaction. If your client wants to know why this is your legal obligation, you can send them a Fintrack disclosure from our application. Moving on, we've pre-populated your name, your brokerage, today's date. All you need now is transaction property address and a few other fields. We use a map widget that you can Select and will auto-populate that for you, avoiding abbreviated city, province, and missing postal codes. Set that and move on to the next section. The CREA forms show this section here that you must select what method you're going to use. When you scan a government-issued ID, we just take out all the credit file, dual ID, unrepresented individual sections or methods on that form and simplify the form for you. Of course, if you select dual ID, our application will revert to that method and walk you through each of the mandatory fields in that method. For the most part, you're going to be scanning photo IDs. So let's move forward. All the info is there. You're moving to the next step. If you don't know your client, never met them, you may want to run this AML check. And we'll scrub it against politically exposed lists and watch lists available to us in Canada. Moving on, third party. Is your client acting on behalf of a third party? You must ask this question and answer it yes or no. In this case, the client is a Canadian citizen who is physically present in front of me. Business relationship, nothing you're unfamiliar with. This is a question on the form. You must complete it. Business dealings, you may want to make some extra notes and have this for your records. Repeat investor, in this case, I'm going to document that. And additional measures taken. Many of us don't fill this section, but we've pre-populated a few of the most commonly used measures taken. And one of them is that we ask the client to provide identification and make sure that it's current and up to date. Of course, we do that with Fintracker. We always ask you on the second time to update that information if you're going to reuse one of these forms. Politically exposed, if you answer yes, meaning somebody is in a significant political role or at arm's length with someone in that role, meaning a wife, a spouse, a brother, you may want to answer yes. And a few more questions will be asked. When you select none of the above, we collapse that section and still complete the politically exposed form, documenting that you asked the individual and when. And don't be afraid to make mistakes with Fintracker. If you miss any fields and you try and submit a form, it'll take you to that missing field, ask you to complete it, so your office will always have a legible and fully completed Fintrack form for your compliance program. You can submit this and enter your recipient of choice, or if your office is set up with our admin portal, it will be here by default. If you want to upload to a document management system, then simply unselect this and do not send it to anyone. Submit it to yourself within the app, and then you can open up the PDF and upload to a document management system. The PDF is auto-populated to the Canadian Real Estate Association license forms, nothing you're unfamiliar with. Get back to building relationships and let Fintracker help with your compliance.